Guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be talking to you all about how I cleared up my acne experience, just everything related to acne and skin. If you have followed my channel for any time now, you know that I have had my fair share of skin issues, and recently I was able to clear up my acne. I still have spots, so I do have a couple of active zits right now. However, for the most part, my skin is clearer than it's probably ever been in my life, other than when I was a child. Once I hit probably 12 years old, I have gotten breakouts. It got really, really bad, probably when I was about 15, 16, and for years and years, I just had really bad acne. So I've tried a lot of things to clear it up. I've tried skincare, I've seen several dermatologists. I've tried a lot of things, and maybe it's coincidence, maybe it's my age, but I think this past holiday-ish season, I was finally able to clear up my acne, and I think it's a combination of a ton of things. So I'm gonna talk to you about everything that I do on the regular basis to help with my acne. So definitely stay tuned to the end of the video, because I think it's really important. I think all of these steps are really important, and I don't want to discredit any single one because I think they all work together to keep my skin clear. But I also think that you have to take it with a grain of salt and do what is best for your skin. There's obviously a ton of things out there that people recommend, but I'm just going to talk about my personal experience. I'm going to share a few products that I use that I think help keep my skin clear or not aggravated, and everything like that. So I'm gonna try, it's already been a long intro, I'm gonna try to go ahead and get into it, but I do want to quickly mention that I do have a blog post associated with this video outlining everything, so definitely check that out. It has a lot of information, and I'm gonna include a lot more pictures there of my skin before, which is really scary, and I will put a little clip here of my skin before and then my skin after, and just definitely check out the blog post. Also, quickly, I want to mention that I just posted a video about my microneedling experience. So if you haven't seen that, I'll link that down below. Definitely check that out as well. And I probably should have posted this before I posted that one, but it's just fine. It's how it works out, and that's how we're going to do it. So the first thing I want to talk about, I'm going to go ahead and throw this out here because a lot of people are very anti this, and I want to talk about it in my personal experience. So the first thing I would recommend is maybe talk to your dermatologist about antibiotics. So I have taken antibiotics multiple times for acne, and they have never worked. This past time I took them, and maybe it was coincidence that they worked, maybe it wasn't, but I'm gonna talk about how I took them. So I definitely, the step 1 and step 2 I definitely recommend to do in the winter time. So my skin was progressively getting worse and worse and worse, and finally in September I just couldn't take it anymore, and I made an appointment with my dermatologist. So around the end of September, the beginning of October, I would say it's the beginning of October, I saw my dermatologist. I saw a new one for the first time. Very great. If you're local, DM me and I will recommend her to you. She is amazing. I saw her, really great. She recommended that I take the antibiotic, and she gave me a retinol cream prescribed from the pharmacy. So it's not something that I can link. So I took the antibiotic from about October to the end of December. I'm not quite sure if it was the holidays and the terrible crap that I was eating and stress and alcohol, but I was having really bad stomach problems, and I thought it could be related to the antibiotic. So I discontinued taking that at the beginning of January. My skin was still pretty rough through the holidays, and I would say that when I stopped taking the antibiotic, it was not where it is today. So I don't know that I can really credit the antibiotic to clearing up my skin, but I definitely think if you're comfortable with taking antibiotics, it's worth a try. With that said, I would recommend that you take a probiotic, because obviously if you're killing all your good bacteria and your bad bacteria, you want to put more good bacteria into your body. I take a probiotic either way, so that's a different thing. I would also recommend that everybody take a probiotic. So I'm gonna get off of that because that was a really long talk about antibiotics, but that's one thing that I would think is a good place to start, just to get it in your system, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. The second thing that I mentioned was retinol. So I know a lot of people don't like this. I've had so many people DM me saying retinol is terrible for my skin. it's so bad, yeah, it makes your skin worse before it gets better. So it's gonna break out, it's gonna burn, it's gonna hurt. But if you get the right one for your skin, after a couple of weeks of slowly easing into it, I love a retinol. I think it's great for keeping my skin even, keeping it from breaking out. It just keeps my skin reproducing, and I think it works really well for my skin. With that said, at first, it's gonna make it a lot worse. So just bear that in mind. Step number 3 is kind of multifaceted, and I have a blog post on this, so I'll link that down below as well. But I have cleaned up my skincare routine now. I'm not 100% clean beauty. I don't know a ton about that, but I have made a few changes to my makeup and my skincare to kind of help, and I wouldn't say clear up my skin, but not aggravate my skin. My skin is very sensitive and it responds very dramatically to changes, and it hates retinol at first, but I have found that my skin seems to be doing better with products that I feel are cleaner. With that said, my entire beauty skincare routine is not 100% clean. It's not perfect, but these are a few things that I would recommend that I do use. So one, I have used Bare Minerals Warmth for years. I really love Bare Minerals products, and now that my skin is clearer, I might actually try going back to their foundation on the regular basis. So we'll see about that, but the Warmth is a great bronzer. My skin does great with it. If I have noticed some cream bronzers my skin does not do well with. And then the second thing, the most important thing that I've really changed is the RMS Uncover Up. So I will link a video down below that I just posted on my everyday makeup routine. Well, not my everyday makeup routine, but my current makeup routine and what I'm wearing a ton of. This is one of them. I love this product. It took some getting used to, and when I started wearing it, my skin was in really bad shape, so I had to use a lot and it wasn't fun. But ever since I started using this, I have seen a huge improvement in my skin in not putting foundation all over it and just using this. You can build it up, you can wear it light. Today I have a little bit more on than what I usually wear, and this camera tends to perfect my skin. But on the daily, I will just use this as cover up on if I have a zit or something like that. I might put on a little bronzer. I'll just do my eyebrows and my mascara. And I love this, but I can also spot it and layer it to where it looks like a full coverage foundation. But it just has much better ingredients, and I have noticed the biggest difference in my skin since I started using this and not regular foundation. With that said, I go makeup free as much as I can, which I know if you have acne, you don't want to go makeup free. But the changes I've made, I started using this and then my skin started clearing up, and then I was able to go makeup free, and I feel a lot better about myself going makeup free. I've gotten to where I feel so uncomfortable wearing makeup. I don't want to wear it every day. So as much as you can, just go makeup free. If you're just at home, it's okay, I promise. If you want, put on some mascara, put on your eyebrows, put on some lipstick, but just try not to put on foundation if you don't have to. The second part of cleaning up my beauty routine comes to skincare. So I started by trying out some Clean at Sephora products, and I love a ton of those. But recently, you've heard me talk about this so much, and so I feel really bad for talking about it this much, but Dr. Barbara Sturm skincare products, I have just fallen in love with her line. I've noticed such a difference in my skin. My skin is more balanced. It isn't aggravated. One of the things I love so much is if you can go to her Instagram, whatever, you can look her up on Google. She always talks about anti-inflammation, and I think that has made the biggest difference in my skin. For so long, I used products that were strong, that fought acne, that were oil-free, that were this, that they were that, and these products have truly just made a difference because they aren't harsh on my skin, but they are effective. So this is what I started with. Now I have the face mask and also the calming serum, which I would definitely recommend if you're really dry, and the calming serum feels so good on your skin. But these, for me, are my two. If you're gonna start trying her products, try these two because they're my favorite. So The first one is the enzyme cleanser. I actually bought this on accident and I'm really glad that I did. I wanted to buy the foam cleanser, which I still want to try, but this is a powder and it's a little bit more of an exfoliating cleanser, but it's so gentle. And I also love that you only have to use a little bit. If you travel a ton, this is great for travel too. So you just put a little bit of the powder in your hand, mix it with water, and I just circle my face and cleanse that way. And then the hyaluronic serum. This is amazing for all skin types. I would recommend. I have pretty oily skin and I find that my skin is so much more balanced when I use this because it just goes straight into your skin. I'm not a fan of creams or things that sit on top of my skin. So if you're looking for something that is hydrating because you feel like you should be hydrating but you hate oily products so you don't use a moisturizer, that was me. I would highly recommend giving this a go. It's really expensive, but just use a little drop. It's all you need, and it's just so good. And if you have other products you love, one of my favorite things about her serums is that they come in these droppers, so you can just mix them together to whatever you need. I've also been using Thayer's Witch Hazel pads, which I just buy the basic. I think this is just the most basic one. And I was using these every day, but since I started using the Dr. Barbara Sturm products, I really am not needing that. My skin is naturally balancing out. And so it's really only if I have spots or something that I'm trying to clear up, I will use this and it will help keep my skin more even, less oily. So I know step 3 was really long and I'm sorry about that, but everything else is pretty quick and self-explanatory, but I think that the products you're using are definitely a huge part of clearing up your skin. So step 4, I know you're going to hate me for saying this because I hated people for saying this, but drink more water. I know it sounds so basic, but it really is so important for clearing up your skin. If you're drinking a ton of water, your skin is gonna look amazing. It'll take a few days to get yourself rehydrated, but I promise you, if you drink lots of water for at least a week, your skin is gonna look better. This is something I have to work on constantly daily, but it is a huge help. I read the book, Younger Skin Starts in the Gut, so that talks about water and other things. If you're really interested in clearing up your skin and focusing on your skin from the inside out, which is really important, highly recommend that book. I'll link it down below. So number 5, I would say, is to check your pillowcase. I love sleeping with a silk pillowcase. I personally found that it has changed my hair and my skin. So definitely think about that, how often you're washing your pillowcase. I think silk is so much more breathable. I don't like sleeping on anything but a silk pillowcase now. I'm not saying you have to buy an entire set of silk sheets. Just buy a silk pillowcase and you can sleep on that. I really, really love that. And consider, like I said, how much you're washing it. If you're washing it, I also try when possible to sleep on my back, but that causes me to sleep with my mouth open, so that's a little bit hard, and then I wake up all like dry and everything. But pin your hair back when you're sleeping, even if it's just in like a silk scrunchie or something like that, so your hair product isn't getting on your face. That's really important to think about. These are just little things that you might not be thinking about, but can really make a difference. So number 6, I would consider checking your detergent as well. This is something that's really difficult for me. I use the Whole Foods brand baby detergent. I have tried so many. I've tried the 7th generation. I've tried a ton of different ones, but I find that the Whole Foods one works the best for me. It doesn't stain my clothes, which I feel like the 7th generation one made all my white clothes yellow, but that could have been something else. But it's like fragrance free. It just does really good. It's a gentle detergent, and I would recommend steering clear from fabric softeners and dryer sheets on your bedding. I do that for like most all of everything, like my towels and my bedding that I'm putting on my face. I don't use dryer sheets and stuff like that for it. It kind of stinks because they don't smell all great, and fabric softening, if that makes any sense, but they also aren't going to irritate your skin as much. So check your detergent, kind of try to cut out using any kind of fragrance on that, because I find that that really irritates my skin. And then the last thing, number 7, I know I'm talking about a lot of dietary things and I still eat a bunch of junk food. But for me, I have found cutting out as much alcohol and sugar as possible helps my skin. Alcohol is huge, and I love my wine. But if I drink way too much, which I think, is not good, but on occasion you do, like this past weekend, I have already had it here, and I had another one somewhere else. I can't remember where it was at. Oh, on my neck. So Alcohol for me really, I can see it on my skin when I'm drinking it. That's another thing where that book comes in that I recommended. She talks about all the things. I've heard people recommend steering clear of dairy. I don't eat a ton of dairy. I eat like cheese for the most part, is pretty much the only dairy that I eat on a regular basis. But I have found that alcohol for me causes more issues with my skin than dairy does. So, but you have to think about your own body and what works best for you. Also, sugar is a big one. If I'm drinking a bunch of Starbucks drinks with a ton of sugar, really not good for my skin. So I've been trying to drink tea more often than I have coffee. But just too much sugar, too much alcohol, really bad for your skin. For me, they cause breakouts, alcohol mostly. So I know this has been a lot longer than what I had hoped for. I was hoping for this to be a quick video, but I just think I really wanted to share this because I have worked really hard on my skin for a long time, and I think the combination of all of these things, the products, most importantly, drinking the water, considering your detergents and the things that you're touching your face with, and I also think really just seeing a dermatologist, like a good one, will really help. Sometimes it takes a couple of tries to find the right one. I have seen at least two other dermatologists that weren't able to clear up my skin, that didn't take me seriously, and finding a good dermatologist really makes a difference. But I have had really bad acne, and I know it's not fun and it's really miserable, but it's worth working at. And I hope that some of these tips that I could provide, things that helped me, that I do on a daily basis to try to keep my skin clear, will help you too. As I mentioned before, take it with a grain of salt, find out what works for you, but definitely give things a try. I would just say, and I'm taking this from Dr. Barbara Stern, but anti-inflammation is a huge thing. So instead of like trying to try all of these harsh things that you think are gonna clear up your skin, try going a more gentle route, maybe, and try to cut things out. Just figure out what works for you. So I hope this video was helpful. Clearly I talk way too much because we're approaching 20 minutes here, so hopefully I can cut that down a little bit. I would love for you to check out the blog post if you're looking for just like a bullet point kind of thing. I'll also have more pictures of my skin there before, so you can see that I have come a long way if you're just now finding this video and haven't seen some of my other videos where I show my skin. And if you have any questions about anything that I talked about, or products or anything, check the description bar for product links, and then just leave me a comment or send me an email for questions that you have. I would be happy to answer them to the best of my ability, and I want to talk about this because this is something that I have struggled with, and if there's anything that I can recommend or help with or talk about, I am here for that because I know it's not easy. But yeah, I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.